Hello, and welcome to Back to School Night 2020. My name is Mr. D'Arcy, and I am the contemporary American government teacher for your children. I'm sure that this Back to School Night is different than any other Back to School Night you've ever had. I know whenever I went to my children's Back to School Night, I always look forward to meeting the teacher, and as a teacher for the last 10 years, I've always enjoyed meeting the parents of my students and getting a chance to talk to them for a few moments. What we cover in this class is we start in the first marking period as American government. Right now, we're working on the Constitution. After that, it's followed by the legislative branch, followed by the executive branch, followed by the judicial branch. This should all end by the end of the first marking period, so around November 5th. The exciting thing is we have a presidential election that's going on, so I'm sure that all three branches of government are going to be very active as we get ready to end the first marking period, and hopefully this will help to draw more of the students into discussion about government. After the end of the first marking period, I hope that we're all going to be here in person again, and then we do World War II, the Cold War, Civil Rights Movement. Then we move on to the Vietnam War, politics of protest, so the protests during the 60s and the 70s, the Nixon presidency, the resurgence of conservatism. So we get into the 80s. A time of change is when we talk about the 90s, and the 2000s is a new century begins. Now, here you see a list of projects, but let me talk to you for a moment about what a typical school day is like. In the virtual setting, we all will meet. We have a Google Meet link. We all click on that. The first couple minutes of class, I'm taking attendance, and then we go over what we're going to do for the day. Every day on your child's Google page for their Schoology page for their class will have an agenda. It'll talk over the items. It'll give a brief overview of what we're going to be doing in class. All the information that they need from class can be found in different folders as we move through on their Schoology page. We tend to do some short videos. We do some lectures with Google Slides that we present ourselves. We have primary sources or biographies for the students to read. We also have geography exercises that we do. And while we're doing these, what we can do is when we watch videos, there's a couple different things. We have something that's called an Ed Puzzle, where we can show a video and we can embed questions in the video. The students cannot advance the video until they've answered the question. It doesn't matter whether it's correct or incorrect. As long as there's an answer, then they can move on. Another tool that we use is we put questions after the video that they have to answer in a discussion board on Schoology. We also have something called Flipgrid, which we can ask the students a question and they can videotape themselves and present their answer on whatever topic we're doing. Okay, some of the other things that we do for projects that the kids can do, whether it's in person or in virtual, is Google Slide presentations, and they've already had some Google Slide presentations that they've completed. We haven't started with research papers, but that will probably be starting soon. Group projects, they have breakout rooms and Google Meet rooms that we can set up. We haven't done that yet, but we will in a virtual setting, and so we can do group projects. If we come back in November, the Google Slides and research paper will be the same. The only difference with the group projects is that the students will be in class and we'll just set them up around different groups of desks. Current events on Fridays, a lot of times when we're in the in-class setting, I will do this. Each marking period, students will report on different areas of the country or a different topic in the news, and they'll write a summary of the article or whatever news story they have, and then I'll write a reaction. And we hope by the students' reaction that we're able to spark discussion in the class about this topic. And why I think it's important is I think that current events a lot of times are a relative connection to each lesson. And also we can look back through history and see how sometimes history repeats itself or how certain events cause things to repeat. And we can mirror that through the current events. Now, testing is a little bit different in the virtual setting as well. But whether we're virtual or we're in class, there will always be 1 week notice given before each test. Now, we'll be doing more like chapter or section quizzes or small chapter quizzes while the kids are virtual. We realize that the kids have access to all their materials while they're home, so we'll try and have some thought-provoking questions that'll make them draw on, make some decisions and analyze different documents. When we come back in person, we'll have term quizzes. We'll have larger chapter tests because we'll be here in the classroom. I don't know whether or not we're going to have a midterm exam. or a final exam. That is something that'll be set by administration. So I'm just kind of leaving that I'm showing final exam up there. And if that occurs, I'm not even sure what that would look like. So just to kind of give you an idea. Class information email is the best way to reach me. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. While we're virtual, we're teaching 80-minute classes. So sometimes I'm teaching for 3 or more hours in a row. So I don't really have a chance to get to email while I'm teaching class, but I will try and get back to you within less than 24 hours. My office hours are on even days from 2:15 to 2:45. You see my office hours meet link there. If you need to speak to me or at some other time, we can try and maybe set up an appointment or do something else. But we could speak through the meet link, or you can email. We can communicate that way. All of the forms that your students are going to need for study materialing for the test, when tests are going to be, due dates, it's all posted on Schoology, on their grade book. All their scores are going to be in there. That will all be posted. I am a big proponent of trying to post test scores or project scores as quickly as possible. I think the students like to see that feedback. They like to see their success. And so I try and do that. And I think that kind of helps them to be able to get that kind of feedback. So I hope that you all have a good evening and enjoy your virtual Back to School Night 2020. And I hope to see you all in person next year. Take care. Bye.